we had like a big football field जहाँ हम सब Indians मिलके cricket खेलते थे.
Football in sense
American football. But
you never played American football because you have that physique.
No, I didn't want to get pushed around to be honest.
According to you, who should do this MHA program?
You can do MHA and then you can get into the administrative side of healthcare companies.
Right.
Hospitals, pharmaceutical companies. So whoever is interested in healthcare wants to look at it from a marketing and a finance standpoint.
How was that BDS experience for you?
I met some of my best friends over there. I learned how to talk to people over there, understanding their pain, alleviating it. Whenever you're talking to a patient, you have to understand that, this person's come to you for a solution.
Yeah.
That was something one of the main takeaways I got from BDS.
What was the best thing you learned?
Patience.
Sabar, patience.
Yeah, from third year, you start working with patients. So,
and also with...
and that teaches you patience, to listen to somebody, to understand where they're coming from, to make sure they get the right kind of treatment that is required.
So you have started your own clothing line, which is Polera.
Polera is going to be one of the biggest fashion brands of India one day.
They're going to sponsor us soon.
The RBI is introducing is a CBDC. They want to make it into tradable entities.
Okay.
It's not going to be India's cryptocurrency. It's going to be something that I'm going to use to buy cryptocurrencies.
Hi everyone, welcome back to a brand new episode of the MADtherapy Sessions podcast. Our guest for today is Dr. Karamveer Singh. He has completed his Master of Science Degree in Healthcare Administration from University of New Haven, USA. He's the founder of Polera, a clothing startup. Dr. Karam is a fitness enthusiast and believes in living an active lifestyle. The audio podcast is available on Spotify and Anchor. The links to that and the description down below. Drop a like if you like this video and consider subscribing if you end up loving it. And also don't forget to comment down below your thoughts on the podcast. Till then, enjoy the episode. So Dr. Karamveer, you did a master's in Healthcare Administration from New Haven.
Yes.
How was that experience?
I would say it was a really good experience, especially coming from India. I had the opportunity to interact with the people from a lot of different cultures.
Okay.
Which was one of the best things that I did. Yeah, it was overall a really good experience, and I got to understand non-clinical aspect of healthcare per se. That was one of the best things.
So how was the program? I mean, how long was it? What all came under that program?
So you had to complete a certain number of credits.
Okay.
And you could do that in 1 year, 6 months, or you could do it in 2 years, depending on how fast you want to get out of college and start working. So.
Okay, great. Yeah. How was the university?
University was really nice. It was huge. We had like a big football field जहाँ हम सब Indians मिलके cricket खेलते थे.
Football in sense
American football. But there were a lot of people from Europe who on played certain days, they played football. Okay. Like soccer.
Okay.
So that was one of the highlights of the...
You never played American football because you have that physique where we...
No, I didn't want to get pushed around to be honest.
No, I'm serious, but with your physique, you could have got into...
If I had the opportunity, if I had the time to play something in the US, it would be cricket.
And you did play cricket, right?
We did play cricket, yeah. We had the university had like an intramural competition. And the funny part was that you had maximum number of cricket teams.
Okay.
Yeah, so being in the US, you don't expect that. Like, intramural mein basketball had like 4 teams.
Yeah.
American football had like 5 teams. And cricket has like 11 teams,
Wow.
So, yeah. Because it was a new sport. Even a lot of Europeans who have never been exposed to that sport, they wanted to try it out.
Did your American friends give it a try to play cricket?
Yes, they did. I had, I think except for the first 6 months, first semester, every year I had a few Americans who wanted to try out. Americans, Ukrainians, Russians, people from Africa, Nigeria, anywhere in the world. They just wanted to play it because it looked fun. So.
And how was the city and social life there?
Social life was a bit slow because initially you're just around the people who are in college, right? So social life compared to what I had in Mumbai was a bit slow. But then over time it gets better. You start going out, you start exploring places over there. So compared to Bombay, it was slow, but I liked it.
Was it like in the heart of the city or
No, it was slightly away. It was in a bit of a suburban area. So, yeah.
And according to you, what's the best thing you learned there during your program in the university?
Understanding cultures was one of the main things that I learned, and being sensitive to the different backgrounds that people come from. It made me basically realize that not everybody is the same, which I used to feel because I was in a closed environment till I was here.
Right.
So when I personally feel that everybody should have that experience, get out of your comfort zone at least for 2 to 3 years in your life, and basically talk to people from different parts of the country or of the world.
Okay.
So that was one of the best things that I learned over there.
And also teaches you to stay independent.
Right. It does.
And you also get to know a lot about yourself.
Right. How lazy you were when you were at home. You have everything done for you, and then over there you have to do everything on your own, which is extremely important.
And then why did you choose to come back?
I basically had to come back because of COVID. My family was freaking out, and so was I, to be honest, because I was living on the East Coast, and New York was probably the worst hit at that time. So all I was doing during COVID was watching the news, how Central Park is being converted into a temporary hospital at that point, which I was barely an hour away from there. So because everything was so new and unheard of, and you only pandemic we had was probably 100 years before this, and nobody knows what happened then. So I had to basically come back because of COVID. I came back in Vande Bharat in one of those flights.
Okay.
So it was a crazy experience.
It must have been very stressful for you
at that point.
Parents, back here.
It was.
So that was the only reason you came back?
Yes, and even my visa situation was not working out. So I felt like it had to happen, and I always wanted to do something on my own. I didn't want to keep working for somebody else.
Right.
So which is why I've had to come back. If you're there on a visa, there's only a limited number of things you can do.
Yeah.
You cannot start your own business. So in the long run, it did not make sense to me.
Right.
So I decided to come back.
So according to you, who should do this MHA program?
People who basically want to, who are, first of all, if you are from a clinical background and you don't want to be in clinical in the long run, you should get into MHA. You should not stay in clinical, because then you're doing a disservice to what you're supposed to be doing. Anybody from, I think somebody with a simple, not simple, I don't want to say simple, somebody with a general graduation as well can also apply. Yeah.
Okay.
You can do MHA, and then you can get into the administrative side of healthcare companies.
Right.
Hospitals, pharmaceutical companies. So whoever is interested in healthcare, wants to look at it from a marketing and a finance standpoint, you should get into.
And it's a very lucrative career abroad.
It is, yes, because if you see the CEOs of most big hospitals are actually making a lot more than most of their doctors. Yeah.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah. So it takes time to reach that level, but then it's worth the hard work.
Right. So you did a BDS from DY in New Bombay. How was that BDS experience for you?
BDS experience in general, as a field, being exposed to it was great. My college was nice as well. I don't have any complaints. I met some of my best friends over there. I learned how to talk to people over there in terms of understanding their pain and alleviating it, because whenever you're talking to a patient, you have to understand that this person's come to you for a solution.
Yeah.
So that was something one of the main takeaways I got from BDS. So that was. Yeah.
So why did you choose to become a dentist in the first place?
So in 10th standard, I was really good at math. So I used to always feel that engineering is the career for me. But then in 11th and 12th, I don't know, something just snapped in my head that I could never understand those integrations and derivations. And I, for some reason, became extremely good at bio. Okay. And I had taken PCMB. So my bio percentage was like 90. And my maths was barely like 70 at that point. So I decided that now you should get into medicine.
Yeah, but
or you should get into...
Why dentistry?
like I said initially, I wanted to have something, or I want to be working for myself, and dentistry seemed like a lucrative option at that time. So
Right.
that was one of the main reasons why I got into BDS.
So, when you were in DY, your BDS days, what was the best thing you learned during those days?
Patience.
Like sabar, patience.
Yeah, because when you're in your learning phase, that's one of the most important things. Most people, they become very, especially when you're working with people. Like when you're doing an engineering, you're not working, you just finish your subjects and then you're out. But then from third year, you start working with patients.
And also with...
And that teaches you patience, to listen to somebody, to understand where they're coming from, to make sure they get the right kind of treatment that is required. So, yeah, I think in those early formative years, it's very important to be exposed to a lot of things that make you uncomfortable.
And also, in your batch, there are 100 more people there.
Yeah.
So, talking to different people.
Right.
Everyone is in a different mood.
Right.
The teachers have their own set of moods.
Yeah.
So, like rightly said, like patience.
Yeah.
Any funny memory or any story you want to share from your BDS days?
Funny memory? No. I don't have any funny memories
any
of being
memorable
in college,
incident?
But then we did a lot of masti in the initial days.
Yeah.
First year and second year. So some things we can't talk about.
At least one.
Podcast.
At least like one which you can share.
I think I went out, I had a night out for the first time when I was in BDS. So that was
a new experience.
New experience for me. And yeah, I cannot think of anything.
Was that first year?
Yeah. Was in first year.
Yeah,
I think we went out together.
Yeah, exactly. Because if I'm not wrong, that was also my first time I went for night out.
That's what I'm saying. A lot of people have the same experience at the same time.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's...
In Lower Parade?
Where did we go? To play or something?
Because if I'm not wrong, we were waiting below your car, below your house, in the car.
Okay.
Waiting for
Whose car? Anurag's car?
Anurag's car.
Okay.
And I was like... I mean, I faintly remember it, but I think that was I think that's the same incident which you are thinking.
Probably.
That was the first time I met you also outside DY.
Okay. Yeah, maybe, I don't know, because I have a goldfish memory, dude.
So, that was a good memory. Any lowest point you think you face in DY?
After the first year, when I had to take the exams again, that was one of the lowest points. So, but then, I think overall my experience was super good in DY.
What are the things you wish you should have done more in DY? I mean, during your BDS days, basically.
Attended lectures. Be a little bit more serious because it's a very serious profession. It's not something you should just try and get by. If you are planning to do dentistry in the long run, you cannot afford, in my opinion, to miss a single lecture.
Yeah.
Because every day something new is being taught and it's as crucial as the previous thing that you have learned. So I think I should have attended more, and I would have been much better as a dentist probably.
So, what's the best thing about dentistry? What do you feel is the best thing?
I mentioned this earlier as well. You get a chance to alleviate somebody's pain, which I don't think you, except for if you're in medicine, if you're a doctor or a surgeon, that's when you get a similar kind of...
Are you happy with your decision of becoming a dentist?
Yes, definitely. It's taught me a lot of things that any other field wouldn't have. Say an engineering or a commerce or an arts, it wouldn't have taught me what BDS basically taught me.
So, what will your advice be for people who are in the first year of BDS or second year of BDS, or anyone who wants to make dentistry their career?
Get serious early.
Okay.
Don't miss lectures. Talk to your professors. Burden them with your questions if you're not able to understand.
Something which you don't do that.
Which we don't do that. This was something very different that I actually learned in the US is students actually go and talk to professors when they don't understand something in a particular subject that they are taking, which in India does not happen.
Yeah.
Everybody's like, क्या यार मैं घर जाके पढ़ लूँगा, देखी जाएगी, कोई explain कर देगा मेरे को. No, go to your professors. Tell them you are not understanding this and don't get up till you understand. Like sit with them, you know. So that would be my advice to anybody who's looking to make dentistry their long-term career. And second thing I would say is that it does not stop after BDS. You have to keep studying if you have to keep upgrading yourself.
Right.
So be ready for a lifetime of education and studies. And there are some people who can do that, like who look forward to doing that. So yeah, that would be my advice.
I know those people who like still learning, like, you know.
Yeah.
So
you do that in every field,
right.
But then in this you have to be a lot more serious.
Because you're dealing with a live patient.
Exactly.
So you have started your own startup of clothing line, which is Polera.
Right.
So I wanted to ask you, what exactly is Polera?
Polera is going to be one of the biggest fashion brands of India one day.
I hope so.
Yeah, that's the idea that I have behind
They're going to
it.
sponsor us soon. Please continue.
So it's right now we are very young. We've been around for about 18 months and we are growing.
It's very new, it's
Yeah.
hardly.
And yeah, we are having very few collections right now. We are only into t-shirts. I'm going to make it into a bigger brand. I'm going to start having women's wear and expand on that as well. So
Okay.
yeah.
So how did you come up with the name Polera?
Polera basically means t-shirt in Spanish. Spanish.
Achha, it means,
in a lot of
it actually means t-shirt.
T-shirt, yeah.
Okay.
In a lot of South American countries, that is what Polera basically means. So,
Interesting.
and it's got a ring to it as well, Polera. If you see most clothing brands, like it's always like a 3-syllable Adidas. You know, so that's
So
why.
you have given thought like behind it.
Yeah, I have.
So what does your logo signify? How did you come up with that logo?
The logo for me, it's basically like it kind of looks like Optimus Prime.
Okay.
The face of Optimus Prime. So, and I wanted it in a particular design, which I think I have got. So, yeah, I wanted it to be inspired from something which is very inspiring.
Got it.
Which is like an Optimus Prime.
It is,
type
of
character.
course, of course. Yeah. So why did you, even think about starting your own clothing line?
So, like I said, I wanted to do something on my own. And see, there's few basic businesses that are always going to be required. Roti, kapda, makan. And in today's time, mobile. So, I felt like clothing was a really good option because I could, whenever I look at a business, I want to first understand that how quickly I'm getting a return on my investment.
Okay.
And am I losing anything when I'm investing money in it? Right? Because I felt like if I started a restaurant, I would not know how to control wastage for a very long time because I have no experience in the field. And I would have to do a lot of basic understanding of how things work because it's you're serving people every day. It's a very I don't know, it's like a very labor intensive kind of situation, any restaurant that you're running. And I'm not that good a cook, a chef. So that was out of the question. Getting into makan is a very big, like, if you're in Bombay, construction is crazy. And mobile यार technology तो इतनी आती नहीं है.
आएंगे, वो भी आएगी आहिस्ते आहिस्ते. Or you can tie up with a mobile company and have a limited edition.
I don't understand. Maybe in a few years, yes. But I don't understand how to create a mobile, But I could understand how to create a clothing line.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's why I wanted to.
So there must be a lot of research from your end when you started,
So I had to basically understand what are the best sellers in terms of clothing, because that's the way you can, like, for me, having put polo t-shirts out, why I did it is because when I started doing my research, I understood that every single person in India probably has at least one polo t-shirt in their closet.
That's true. That's very true.
Because they might have round neck t-shirts, they might have shirts, but then polo neck t-shirt is something that everybody has.
Right.
Shirts is a slightly more complicated. The investment was a little bit more when it came to starting a shirt brand as well.
Yeah.
But then, so having polos and having round necks and having gym wear, I required the same equipment. So yeah, that's why I got into these initially, and then my gym wear is always sold out. So
what all products come under the brand Polera?
Right now, it's what I'm having listed on Amazon is t-shirts, round neck t-shirts and polo neck.
So, so you're selling it on Amazon?
Amazon as well.
Okay.
Yeah. Amazon, I have my own website. I'm putting it in locally. I'm putting it in shops.
Okay.
And considering that the market has only started recovering, say this year,
Yeah.
I feel the response has been good.
Yeah.
So yeah, and I always because I'm into exercising and gymming, I always wanted a brand which had good quality clothes,
Yeah.
and it was affordable as well, because when you look at people who go to the gym, they are usually people from the age of 15 to say 25,
Yeah.
and they are mostly living off of pocket money.
Yeah.
You cannot expect to start a brand and keep a stringer at a price of 1,000 rupees. It has to be affordable. So giving good quality, affordable clothes was my main idea behind starting Polera.
So, what's the best seller in Polera right now?
The stringers. The gym stringers, yeah. If you've seen my Instagram,
But you
can see
they're
that I
sold
was
out, right?
it's sold out, yeah. Because
So when can we expect? Like if anyone wants?
it's manufacturing as we speak.
Okay. And what's your personal favorite design out of all of them?
The black stringer is something I wear very often. And yeah, even the t-shirts, the general round neck t-shirts, I had a Reglance t-shirt with a gold print on it,
Okay.
which also sold really quick. And that basically, if you have a little bit on your shoulders and your chest, it sort of makes it look better.
Yeah.
So Reglance also sells pretty quickly.
So you have given a lot of thought.
yeah,
behind every
that
t-
you have to think, dude. It's otherwise you're going to have dead inventory for a very long time.
And how big is your team right now? And do you plan to
Right
expand
now, I'm
anytime
having
soon?
about 15 people working,
Okay.
and I do want to expand as my manufacturing capacity increases. So let's see how it goes. Probably by the end of this year, we're going to have a few more people.
So why did you feel the need to become an entrepreneur and have your own startup?
Why not, dude?
Yeah, I mean, why not? But what
Why
was
not?
your
Especially
reasons?
in today's time, it's like even it's become the cool thing to do, especially after shows like Shark Tank. We'll
Yeah.
have to mention it.
Yeah.
So it's become like the cool thing to do, and I always, like I said earlier as well, I want to do something on my own. So entrepreneur is just a fancy term to say that you're doing something for yourself.
Got it. So, according to you, how important has been the role of your partner in this journey of yours? Because, you're doing many things at the same time. So, how important has
She's been extremely supportive.
And she's also a dentist.
She's also a dentist. She is also from DY. We met in DY.
We all met in DY.
We all met in DY. She's been extremely supportive, and you have to understand that when you're starting a business, it's not going to be as lucrative as it basically sounds.
Yeah,
there's going to be a lot of months where you're not going to break even, or you're going to spend out of your pocket, out of your savings. So considering all that, she believes in the vision of the business, and she believes that it's going to be something big, and she's always been very supportive from the start.
That's fantastic. I mean, it can't get better than having a supportive partner.
Yeah.
So we move on to another love of yours, that's working out and living a more healthy lifestyle.
Yes.
So when did you start working out?
I started working out, I would say, since I was 17 or 18.
Wow, that's like
Yeah.
15 years back?
12. No, dude, I'm not that old.
No, I mean roughly.
Since I was 17 or 18, but I didn't get serious, I would say, about a lot of aspects of fitness till the past 5 years.
Okay.
So, yeah, I would say 5 years, not more than that.
So that was the time when you decided to start living a more healthy lifestyle.
Yes. And there was a reason behind it, is because when you're in your junior college days, or even your initial college days,
Teenage years, basically.
Teenage days, basically. A lot of boys get into exploring a lot of new things.
Yeah.
And I was always of the opinion that I have to keep myself healthy. I was always into sport. I always wanted to have a good, decent physique.
Right.
Never be out of shape. Fit into the regular size clothes that are available in the mall. So, yeah, that was my goal, why I started. I wanted to stay away from all the things that could distract you
And
be harmful in the long term.
So like, going to the gym was more like, a way of, staying out of all these things.
And getting healthy at the same time.
True. So do you follow any workout routine on a daily basis?
Yes, I'm doing CrossFit.
Okay.
But it's not been very long. It's been about not even 6 months.
Okay.
And I'm a little bit into mixed martial arts as well.
Mm-hmm.
And generally, in the gym, I am following a push-pull leg split.
Understood.
So you're basically building muscle in your upper body while you're pushing weight or you're pulling weight.
Okay.
And legs is a totally different aspect. Like it's... Yeah, I can see you smile because you know how much it hurts.
Because it's like a different, like, there are lakhs of memes about,
leg day.
People having a great upper body.
Yeah, and then having chicken legs.
Yeah, exactly.
And having a lot of pain after leg day. But I feel that the more you do it, the easier it gets. And getting through those initial 5 to 7 workouts is when you have that
soreness?
Extra soreness.
Yeah.
And even that has a solution. If you have a good diet, your soreness is going to go.
Because that was my next question. How important do you think is the role of diet and nutrition?
Diet, most people say it is 80-20, diet is 80. I say it is 95.
95?
Yeah, it's not even, it's working out is like 5% of what you do. And your diet, what you intake is probably 95%. Because again, there's this parameter that people say that you spend 1 hour in the gym.
Right.
23 hours, what are you doing? That discipline should be there.
Yeah.
And the other aspect is that what you're putting in your body. In terms of consuming food, even from a mental standpoint, like if you look at it, you have to have a certain amount of focus to be able to exercise every day. You cannot be like, चल आज मैं TV देख लेता हूँ, आज नहीं करते कुछ, आज थक गया मैं. That focus has to be there. Consistency has to be there. That's the most important for somebody to. It should be like sleeping. If you want to have a good, decent physique, you have to go to the gym at least once for 1 hour in a day, and have a control on your diet. Have the requirement of the calories that you need to have. It should not be excess and it should not be in deficit.
Got it. And do you consume any supplements for your workouts?
I consume whey protein.
Okay.
And I consume vitamins and certain minerals, nothing other than that.
Nothing too crazy.
Experimented with stuff. I've realized they're all a waste of money. If you have a good natural diet, you're not going to require anything. So only the reason why I take whey protein is that it digests really quickly, and it's something good to take as soon as I'm done with the workout, because I'm famished after that. I'm tired and I need something to give me energy for at least getting home from my gym.
Because and I've seen your Instagram, I've seen your stories. Your wife also works out with you. How's that like?
It's very good. It's actually makes it a lot easier to have somebody with the same kind of goal when it comes to eating.
That's interesting.
When it comes to exercising, it's very easy to go out and have ice cream every day. But
if you have someone who works out and
is like, what, don't do it today when you want to do it, and vice versa as well. So
basically, you push and pull each other.
Yeah, yeah, you're right. That's how it works.
So, what will your advice be for anyone who wants to start working out as a beginner, irrespective of the age? They can be a young guy or someone who's senior, but they want to start out the journey of.
So my suggestion would be that understand nutrition first.
Okay.
Understand what you're eating. Probably that is why you are not in the best shape of your life and you want to get healthier. And being in a calorie surplus or calorie deficit, depending on what your goal is.
Got it.
Is extremely important to avoid soreness the next day, so that when you go to the gym on day 1, day 2 also you have the energy to go. You cannot be like, aaj kal gaya, main abhi next week jaunga. That's not how you can approach it. If you want to do it, there has to be crystal clear focus.
Yeah.
And just start. Just start.
That's the most important. Start.
Just
be
start.
Consistent.
Yeah, and don't just say that I have taken the gym membership now, I am going to be fit. That's not how it works.
I'm sure you must be getting a lot of calls from your friends and family members and want to,
it happens. A lot of people, bhai tere jaisi body na 3 mahine mein bana. Like tu chalu to kar. At least start, then हाँ मैं कल आऊँगा तेरे साथ. कल आज तक नहीं आया. So Yeah, so this thing would be that just understand nutrition, have a trainer, initially at least for the first 3 months, and pay attention to when your trainer is talking. Because I would say that most gyms nowadays at least have good trainers. They don't have, it's not like how it was probably 5 or 10 years ago.
Yeah.
So you have good certified trainers, understand what they are trying to tell you, understand what they are trying to teach you, and then you can do it on your own after the next 3 months or 6 months, whatever is your time frame that you want to spend that extra money on it. But nutrition is the most important thing.
Got it. So we'll move to another favorite topic of yours, that's cryptocurrency. So you have been a very big investor and a long time investor in cryptocurrency. So how did you start into cryptocurrency, and what's the story like? I
started probably 3 or 4 years ago.
Okay.
It's a funny story because I received a dividend of a stock that I was owning. It was like $10 or something. It was not something very big.
So it was an American stock?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was in the US. It was not when I was here.
Okay.
So I just bought something known as Dogecoin at that time. And,
wow.
And that $10 became...
Sorry to interrupt you. Why how did you
because that's all I could think of. It was... I think it was not even 1 cent at that point.
Right.
I don't even remember the price.
Why did you choose Dogecoin?
So I can tell you what happened. I bought about 4,000 coins at $10 at that point, and I was thinking, this becomes like Bitcoin, dude. I'll be like a millionaire within whatever.
Yeah.
So, but then that's why I chose it, and that $10 became $18 in, I don't know, not even 2-3 months.
Wow.
That's when I got interested in this. I'm like, why? What is this? How is it possible? What is happening? I started looking up online. I've done a course on blockchain as well.
That's interesting.
So that's where I basically got interested in cryptocurrency, and I've been a trader and investor since then.
Okay. So along the way, what lessons have you learned while investing in crypto?
I would say just take the money when you're getting it. Especially in certain cryptos. Don't feel that everything's going to become Bitcoin, because it is not. And be patient. Do your own research. Do not go on anybody else's judgment or advice, because trust me, everybody is learning crypto. It's not even been around for 15 years. So there's a lot of figuring out that's going to happen. It's being misused. Whenever there's a new piece of technology, the first use that happens is a misuse. It's not used for the right reasons. But then I see a great future in these technologies, because if you understand how blockchain works, it's something that we require in today's time. So yeah, that's what I...
So what are the apps or websites do you use on a daily basis to do your crypto?
There's a lot of apps. There's like WazirX, there's CoinDCX.
But what do you use?
It depends. depending on wherever I can transfer the money quickly.
Your personal favorite, say?
CoinDCX is good.
Okay.
CoinDCX is good. I have a US account as well, Robinhood. I use that sometimes. Yeah, that's about it.
Okay. So, do you also invest in the stock market?
Yes, I do. I am
both in India and
in the US as well. And I've been investing in India since I could basically have a demat account since I was 18.
So that's like 12-13 years.
Yeah. So, I've been investing in the Indian stock market. But what I do in the Indian stock market is a lot different than what I do in terms of cryptocurrency. I do own it for long. I do own certain cryptos for a long term as well. And Indian stock market, it's basically long term. I've tried my luck with commodities. I've tried my luck with options. Everything, whatever you probably is out there, I've tried. But the one thing I've learned is that either you pursue this as a full-time career, like you're studying throughout the day about it, and then next day you take certain trades, or you do long-term investing. You look at the fundamental aspect of certain stocks, and then just leave it. If you know Tata is going to do well in the long run, you buy Tata and forget about it.
So you have to be up to date in the current what is happening.
So there's 3 aspects that I always look at when it comes to investing in anything, rather, even if it is crypto or stock. It's having a fundamental understanding, having a technical understanding, and having a sentimental understanding of something.
Okay.
So
that's interesting.
So fundamental basically indicates what how well the company is doing or how bad the company is doing. Technical indicates whether it's going to bounce from a certain level or if it's going to drop from a certain level. It makes you understand what if there's a number of buyers or sellers at a certain level. So there's always going to be a change in the direction of the stock when you look at it from a technical standpoint and you understand it. Sentimental is when you and I sit and talk and we are like, you know what, let's just buy Tata Power. And you tell 10 more people and I tell 10 more people without having a general understanding, which is why what I feel has happened in the past 2 years, especially in the Indian stock market. A lot of people have just started buying stocks because it's easy. You have apps like Zerodha and Upstocks. And without having a proper understanding, there's a lot of youngsters who just get into it.
Yeah.
They have like few thousand saved and they'll just buy something and leave it. Which, unless you know that the stock is going to do really well, it doesn't make sense. You're going to end up losing money.
So like, what's your take on the traditional finance system and, say like a globalized monetary system?
That's where actually cryptocurrencies come in.
Okay.
What I feel personally is that if you look at how traditional finance is set up today, we are in a state of inflation. Everything is priced super high right now, especially in the US. If you look at what the price of gas was in 2020, it was around $1 or $2, and today it is $7.
Like in
why? Yeah, in a gallon of gas is around $7. So this is happening because there was a lot of money that was basically put into circulation to stimulate the economy during a lockdown.
Okay.
People were given free money for no reason. I mean, the government has had their reasons.
Yeah.
And I feel somewhere it is affecting every single economy in the world. Today, the dollar is at 80 rupees.
Yeah.
So, and people say that there's going to be a recession. So, the common man is the one who suffers.
Yeah.
During this type of a situation. So, I feel there is a need for a global monetary system wherein such things cannot be allowed. Like, I don't know how much was couple trillion, 2 or 3 trillion was printed and it was just given to people. And today, because that extra money is in circulation, the price of commodities is going up.
Yeah.
Even if there is a shortage on the supply side or there is no difference in the demand side, it has nothing to do with the inflation that is happening today. So there need to be certain rules, and I feel like whenever you put a human in charge of certain things are going to go haywire after a certain point. So having a system wherein there are set number of rules is going to be very necessary in the near future, not even in the distant future.
Like what is happening in a blockchain system, like in crypto?
Yeah, so I can, like I was mentioning when I first bought Dogecoin, I started looking at it from a fundamental standpoint.
Okay.
So when you look at it, there is, I think there's about 135 billion coins in circulation right now. And you can add about 5.2 billion every year, which gets mined. That number stays constant.
Yeah.
Now, when you look at it from the standpoint of it being adopted, that number, because it is constant, it is decreasing inflation. Next year it's going to be 140. After that it's going to be 145. It cannot go beyond. It's not a percentage.
Okay.
Whereas when you see inflation, it's 4%.
Yeah.
Right? At least in India it is 4%. And now what's happening is it's crazy. So having something where this type of a control is there, I feel is extremely important. Or having maybe a Doge is not the answer, and maybe Ethereum is going to figure it out better, or Bitcoin is going to be adopted more. I don't know, but then you need something which is not controlled by a person.
So
in my opinion,
what will be like your take on say like cryptocurrencies being unregulated? Because as we are speaking, we are seeing a lot of rules and regulations being happening regarding cryptocurrencies by the RBI and the Finance Ministry. So what's your take on that?
So we need to understand one thing that first of all, what the RBI is introducing is a CBDC. They want to make it into tradable entities.
Okay.
It's not going to be India's cryptocurrency. It's going to be something that I'm going to use to buy cryptocurrencies. Okay, it's going to be a CBDC, central bank digital currency. So if I want to buy,
another currency to buy other cryptocurrency.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if I want to buy, say, 1 lakh worth of some crypto, I will convert my 1 lakh into a CBDC.
Okay.
Buy that crypto. I'm making a 50% profit. I want to sell it. I will convert it back into a CBDC.
Yeah.
And then I will convert it into INR. Or
sort of that the government will have a percentage out of it.
yeah. So then like it makes it easy for the government to actually control taxing on it. Track your taxes basically.
Then
There's
that
no
just
way
destroys the whole point of
any cryptocurrency. It does. So that's what it is. Like we have to understand how it is being approached by governments, and what is the actual idea behind having a certain cryptocurrency being accepted globally. So yeah, that's what I feel. That if over time this change has to happen.
Yeah.
You cannot be in a situation where if you buy a loaf of bread for 7 rupees, 5 years later you're buying the same loaf of bread for 50 rupees. It's not how it's going to work for a very long time. It's been working like that for n number of years, but then
Something
I feel
has
like
to
this
change.
change has to happen. That's my take on it. Governments can fight it. I don't know how it's going to be regulated or unregulated after a
We
point.
just have to wait and watch.
You have to wait and watch, and I personally feel there is a need for it.
So how often do you buy or trade cryptos?
It depends. I mean, I'll at least have 2 or 3 trades a week. If I know a certain crypto is going to do well because of a news or any kind of new update that it has,
Right.
I buy it. I have a certain certain target that I keep for it, and then I'm out.
Got it.
There are certain that I've bought and kept for the long term. I'm not going to sell them till I feel like abhi to ban gaya, abhi bas ho gaya.
ठीक है. So which brings us to the last section of the podcast. So we're going to ask you certain questions and you'll have to answer them in a rapid manner. So it's like a rapid fire section. So if not a dentist, what would you be?
I would have been a doctor, MBBS. I would have got into medicine.
Again, for the same reasons?
Same reason.
Okay. Favorite BDS posting? Think about it. I'm going to give you a minute.
Endo.
Endo?
It's like endo, yeah.
Why?
Just because you did stuff in endo. You did a lot of patients. No, you did a lot of patients in endo.
That.
Yeah, a lot of other postings were like...
So you loved the whole clinical aspect of it and you got to do endo.
Yeah.
Who's your role model in the fitness industry?
That keeps changing.
Current favorite?
I think Joe Aesthetics is good. Joe Linder, he's good now.
Any particular reason why?
That guy is shredded, dude. Like, he's just shredded. How? I don't know, but he is.
Okay. Inspiration for Polera? Like
Inspiration
there's
for
a
Polera.
brand out there and you want to see Polera reach that height. Like you want to make Polera like that. A brand out there. Like an inspiration for you.
I think Zara is a really good case study. If you see, they've been a fast fashion brand and they've grown.
Again, they're also Spanish.
Yeah, they're Spanish and they've grown immensely in a short span of time.
Okay.
So Zara is one of the good brands that I would like to mimic in terms of success.
Okay. Your favorite cheat meal?
Where do I start, dude?
You can mention more. I just wanted one, but then if you have
Chole
many,
bhature, aloo paratha, pani puri, having a big tub of ice cream,
okay.
having dosa.
So you're saying you don't have that on a daily basis?
No. It's only on cheat days.
So what are your cheat days? Like, do you have a set days?
One maybe depending on certain weeks I don't even feel like having a cheat day. Certain weeks I'm like 7 days a week I can eat healthy stuff. I can eat my chicken over rice with my vegetables. That's about it. But then usually it is once a week.
Okay.
And if at all I go beyond a week, I'll probably have 2 cheat meals then.
But you will also work out more.
Yeah, so I want to be in that. If I want to be in a deficit, I want to be in a deficit. If I want to be in a surplus, I want to be in a surplus.
Got it.
So that's my take on it.
One product you regret buying for working out?
One. There's certain supplements I've used which have been pathetic. Like,
as in, they're nonsense. I mean, they don't provide any value.
They don't. There's certain. I don't want to take the name of the brands, but then there's certain whey proteins that were really bad. Like, I don't even know. They cannot even be classified. It was
Bad
probably
in the
just
sense-
cocoa powder.
So they tasted bad, or they were absolutely
No
of no
result.
use to you? No results.
use.
Okay.
No result.
Okay.
No improvement in terms of exercise. Yeah. In equipment wise, I have not bought anything. I just have a belt. A weightlifting belt. That's
No,
it.
but any one which you'd regret buying, and that can be your supplements.
Yeah, supplements. Certain whey proteins, brands I will not name. I don't want to.
Okay. We're gonna in the next time when you come, we're gonna ask you, and you have to reveal names
Of the brand?
of everything. Like this episode has been a very just an entry thing for you because you have been in a lot of industries, so you know the inside outs. Last thing, your favorite 3 cryptocurrencies?
Not financial advice. Buy Ethereum. Buy Ethereum. Buy Ethereum. No, like even Bitcoin's good.
Okay.
ADA is a really good currency. Algorand is good.
Which one?
ADA.
ADA.
Yeah, ADA. Yeah, Cardano. Algorand is doing good of late.
Any non-famous cryptocurrencies? Something which
Algorand
is
is
going
not that famous.
under the radar and you think might do good?
What I would say is that stay away from something like a Shiba Inu. Because from the outside, it looks like a Ponzi scheme to me. Maybe it's whatever's happening around it is just a lot of people are thinking that it's going to mimic the success of Dogecoin. But then Dogecoin is something very different. People have to understand it fundamentally. On the other hand, when people say that a Shiba Inu is going to touch $1, it's never going to happen. Even 1 rupee. If you see all the money that is there in the world gets converted into Shiba Inu is probably when it will touch the value of $1. Probably. I'm not even sure if it will happen then.
Got it.
Which is never going to happen. So, certain cryptos I would say stay away from. Bitcoin just buy. I feel it's going to come down further from this level, but then it's going to bounce back really well. Ethereum is going to be great because it's got a lot of from the technological standpoint, they are doing really well. ADA has got, Cardano has got probably the most brilliant and the most highly educated minds in blockchain today working on the project. Dogecoin is going to have a lot of sentimental buying and selling. That's going to continue, I still feel. And Solana was good. Solana was really good at one point, but then it has just tanked in this recent. I think it went from $15 to probably 300. I think not 300, 200, and now it's come down to like 20 something. So, but then on the again looking at them from a technological standpoint, they are also doing well. Not investment advice.
Certainly not. So, thank you, Dr. Karam, for taking out time for this podcast. It's great having you here and got to learn a lot of things, but just the beginning things. Hopefully, we'll again have you soon on it. And if you make sure that you are gonna not reveal names, not the bad parts, but because you have a lot of experience and a lot of knowledge. So,
thank you for
your time again.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you. Done.
Dude, I started coughing so many times.
And
I started blanking out about things. पहले जो बात किया ना.
I was like Bishara is like trying not to cough.
Yeah.
And
मेरे को AC से हो रहा था.
अरे तो ऐसा hint करने का I would have.
I didn't see the remote.